So that leads us to obviously you just like you said you got to enjoy the win, then you have to look forward. Famously, a North Carolina Tar Heel coach once said, "On to Cincinnati" is what he said. So on to Tampa, right? Okay, Mac Jones. Just what he's out there doing. I guess I should start right away. There was an oblique was added to his injury report, and he was limited. Is there concern for him this weekend?
No, I think we feel pretty good about where he's going to be at. If you saw him play through that game, I mean, that was real life stuff. You saw it, and you saw toughness and grit, and you saw guys stepping up and playing through some things. But I think Mac's in good shape. Who continue to work to it by Sunday. We're hopeful and believe that he's going to be in a good spot.
Okay, so he's playing so well, and we talked to Steve Young yesterday about it, and we said, how's Brock processing all this? Brock got the money. Brock got paid. He got Stanford football donation money. He did well, right? But Steve said, it's awkward. It's awkward. He said there's creative tension. He said ultimately, that's a good thing. So your feeling on Brock watching Mac get all these wins, how do you think that's going to play out with the dynamic in the quarterback room?
A cool quality about Brock Purdy is he's one of the most assured people that in a very humble way. It's hard to explain, but I think it's one of the things that appeal to us. He's just very confident in his abilities, but he's just a good guy, and he's got an incredible amount of humility. Sure, there is, Steve has lived that more than anyone. So I'll never, I'll listen to him and say, all right, you're right. I've never been there, but I have been in my own situation. And yeah, it is always, you want to be the guy out there. I do wholeheartedly believe that Brock is nothing but happy for our team. He's working his tail off to try to get back. And I think we all feel blessed and fortunate that we found a guy to be our backup this year who can go in and play like a starter and earn us tough, hard-fought wins. And Mac's doing a tremendous job. It's been fun. We've talked about the process he's gone through, and you could see throughout the off-season, through training camp, the confidence build and some of those innate abilities that we saw way back in college start to come to the forefront, and it's cool to see that happen on a big stage.
We saw Mac Jones on the practice field yesterday. We did not see Brock Purdy, John. So where can you tell us about where he is in his recovery status and also the decision to not have him travel with the team last Thursday down to L.A.?
Well, I don't think that's the decision, and I understand. Yeah, he's our franchise quarterback, and so you'd expect him to travel. I think sometimes these guys just find, and our trainers and health and performance staff finds that when you travel, I think people can feel it in their own experiences. When you travel, it's not always necessarily a good thing, and things can swell. There's air pressure, all that kind of stuff. And so we also find you want to maximize every hour of treatment. And so it's not like these guys are having an extended vacation when they're here. We leave trainers back here, and we get as much work as we can, and we try to maximize the amount of treatment. Now, we always make a call with the quarterback. It's nice to have Brock for Mac sometimes to be in his ear, just like Mac will be there for Brock. But you have to weigh, okay, what's the positives, what are the negatives? We ultimately made a decision that it was best to leave Brock here. And Brock's working to the side. He's working hard to try to get back, but I think wants to get back at full strength. And, Mac probably allows that even more so because we're winning games, while he's getting healthy.
Should 49ers fans expect this Brock thing to last a while longer, like a few more weeks?
I don't think I can give you, like a completely accurate and direct, because I think it's just like, when is he going to feel right to go play? And when are we going to make that decision? I can tell you, although he's not on the practice field, he's out here working. He's doing a lot of things, trying to build up the strength and get that thing in a good spot. So I think he'll continue to do that, and when he's ready, he'll be ready.
So while we're on that topic, I thought maybe Kittle would get his window open, but no. Are we close with Kittle?
I do believe we're nearing. We're getting there. There's going to be a good chance for next week. George, he got that hamstring pretty good, and it's taken some time. We want to ensure that when he comes back, he can be the George Kittle that, I mean, there's no governor on George Kittle if you watched him play, and we don't want him to have to play with a governor. So, we thought maybe at some point that there might be a chance on this week. It didn't end up happening, and so I think, I'm fairly confident he'll get back on the practice field next week, and then we'll see what kind of place is he in to go compete right away, or is it practice for a week? So we'll get to that probably next week when that time comes.
John, quick check-in on the wide receiver room. What can you tell us about the recovery process of Brandon Ayuk, Ricky Pearsall, and Jawan Jennings?
I'm looking at Brandon right now. He's out on the field. He's been working really hard. He's coming along. He's making strides. Ricky is fighting through. I think still hasn't given up hope for this week. He wasn't on the practice field yesterday. Not likely to be out there today. We'll see if he can get in on, later in the week. And JJ is doing everything he can. I think he'll probably, practice in a limited fashion today, and we'll see if he can make it for Sunday. So, but I'll tell you that the group as a whole, whoever has been out there, has been finding a way to make plays, and really appreciative. And Kendrick Bourne, I mean, the effort he put forth the other night, and Demarcus Robinson made some plays, Sky Moore out there, MVS as we call him, Valdez Scantling. It's been fun to watch those guys go compete, find a way, whoever's been out there, to make plays.
Yeah, we had Kendrick as our player of the week, and as you know, man, a conversation with that guy, you come away feeling energized, So he's good. He's good vibes. So
he is excellent vibes. I just love watching that guy live life. I mean, he's bouncing all day long, and he's always has a smile on his face. Has such good perspective. He's matured in his time away in a great way, but he hasn't lost that juice, that energy, and that he never should, because it's special.
Man, we'll see what he does this Sunday in Tampa. Maybe he'll repeat that kind of performance. We're for sure. John, one of the things that, it's October, which means November 4 is a few weeks away, and now you start to see it heat up. Joe Flacco gets traded. The Chargers and Ravens made a trade. Adam Schefter was on ESPN, said he anticipates a lot of trades this October. So you guys are now 4-1. You guys are not playing for something. This is not like a lost season. And you guys definitely lost Nick Bosa. That's a fact. So this is the weekly question now. Are we a week closer to you making a trade for a pass rusher?
We'll see. I'm having a lot of conversations, a lot of good and productive ones. It is a premium position, so teams don't like just letting those guys out the door when they're good football players. So you have to identify the right guy that, number one, is going to help us. Like I've been very clear. You're not going to find a player, that's going to go replace Nick Bosa and be as effective as him. That's really difficult to do. But can you find someone who makes the entirety of our group better, such that collectively we're better? That's more in line with what we're looking for. There's so many variables, and you got to find a partner that makes sense, and so all those things. But there's plenty. And if we find a way to make our football team better and it aligns, then we will not, be shy on pulling the trigger. But we are. It's not for lack of putting in the work.